That's looking.
Well, you don't see this. This didn't even exist till you hit record.
Till I hit record. Welcome to a family style episode of the podcast in which just before we hit record, I have already annoyed Elaine on the podcast about the topics that we're going to discuss.
Yeah, because Allie is ageist.
Because just okay, no, we'll get it. That's not our first topic.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so don't like jump ahead.
Put that in for later.
Okay, it's in there. Yeah.
Allie is ageist.
Allie is age. Oh, you want
Thank
that
you.
specific? Okay, let me add that. Allie is ageist. Real quick before we start, since we're on YouTube now, I put all these on YouTube now.
Oh,
I do want to introduce who is always here in the podcast recordings with me, and this is Quack the Ripper. Quack has been with me longer than Elaine. He predates Elaine in my life. He's a very special member of my life, Quack the Ripper. I find a lot of inspiration from him, and I get a lot of wisdom. He was a gift to me from my sister when I was going through a taxidermy phase in my life, in which I learned how to taxidermy things. And we also have a deer Albus, but I can't really bring him into the podcast. But this is Quack for everyone at home. And if you're just listening, like go to the YouTube channel and see Quack the Ripper. He's a cool dude.
Now, people are going to comment. Go ahead.
What about Quack the Ripper?
Yeah, because a duck was definitely harmed in the making of that.
No, these ducks died of natural causes.
You know this for a fact?
Yeah, I know this for a fact. Like this is from like England. In England, they do this style of taxidermy, and it's all like young animals that like died of natural causes.
Oh, I like that. I mean, I like that it's a whimsical story. I think that's the way maybe we should go.
A whimsical. If someone makes you Quack the Ripper.
I don't want to be taxidermied.
You don't want to be taxidermied.
But I do think it's a cooler way if you are someone who, like, when you're planning your funeral, you want to be in a casket. I think it'd be cooler to like dress up as something fun.
Yeah, to have like a snazzy outfit instead of just like whatever dress was in your closet.
Let's go ahead and if you have something in particular that you would want to be in a casket that's kind of whimsical.
Okay.
I think people should let us know.
Let us know.
I will tell you what mine is. I've been thinking about it.
You're ready. Okay, go for it.
I can't tell you how much I love Freddy Fever, the Indiana Fever WNBA team's mascot. And I think it'd be hysterical for people to open a coffin. You have to have a closed casket.
Okay, it starts off closed.
It starts off closed.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when it's opened, it's Freddy Fever. Or you know what? That elephant's really funny for the Liberty. So I don't think that's who I am.
When you die, you're saying that your wish is
No, I'm not saying that's my wish. What I'm saying is that there could be an opportunity. And this is the thing, if someone's listening out there and this, like, you work in the funeral industry, listen to us. There's a market maybe here.
There's a market maybe here.
Yeah, dressing people up.
I just want to because this could be legally binding, and I clearly have power of decisions over you. Okay. So you're saying that you want me to dress you in a Freddy Fever costume?
I think that'd be hysterical. It doesn't even matter. I'm dead.
But we have the funeral. You're in the costume, and then like, how long in the funeral do I open the casket? Can I spring load you so you like bounce up?
Oh my God, that'd be so great. No, make people turn a big thing. Dun, 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 dun,
I think my biggest hurt. You want a Jack in the Box then?
Yeah, and then Freddy Fever was, and it's me dead inside.
What I want to think is like my biggest hurdle on this is that WNBA mascots are a pretty niche thing to be into. Proof positive that you can't even get a Freddy Fever shirt that you've been wanting to get.
I'm going to design it myself.
So where am I going to get a Freddy Fever costume? Like, I'm going to have to build this myself. And I'm not good at crafts.
The obstacle is the way.
The obstacle is the way. So I should go ahead and get that custom order in now.
Immediately.
No,
I mean, if the Chicago Skies mascot, we don't need to get into that because it's running.
This is.
If you want to see the worst mascot ever, clearly picked by.
Okay. No, this is so fun. One, the worst mascot of all time is Sky Guy for the Chicago Sky. Like, let's just get that out there. Number two, let's talk about if there were mascots for ultra races, and that's going to help us segue into our next topic.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, if there was gonna be like a mascot, if we had a mascot, we
Mhm.
should have a mascot.
We
We'll
should.
get into this later.
They're really expensive.
They're expensive, but it's a
Mhm.
one-time investment that like the ROI is so big. It pays.
I think you start small and get one of those blow up dancing things. I love those.
Is that our mascot?
It doesn't to be, yeah, it could be our thing. Like, who else does that at a race?
No, no one else has a mascot. No one else has a
Yeah.
mascot. But like, so our mascot is the
Fun guy. Or girl. I don't know.
person.
Pigeonhole.
Person. Yeah, we don't want a pigeonhole. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna segue us into our first topic.
I don't even understand how you're segueing because this seems like
Because I'm gonna segue by saying like, hey, these are the big races, and they would be the ones to have mascots.
Oh, okay, let's do that.
So Elaine has been really gracious in our household that we have watched a lot of live streams of the ultra races over the past month, which is awesome that I can do it because I've not really been able to do it. And yeah, we can. It gets better every year.
It does.
Like, we watched Western States and we watched Hardrock, and I had High Lonesome on, and I'm gonna have UTMB on, and so we're watching all the live streams, and we have feedback. We have feedback. I'm gonna let Elaine start with her feedback. We'll start with Western States because that's one you watch the most of. How did you feel about the Western States broadcast?
I have to say, I feel so bad because it's their job, but the announcers were so boring. Just boring, kind of boring.
Yeah, they didn't really have good chemistry.
Yeah,
or like fun.
Yeah, or fun. I just want them to have more fun.
I did want them to have more fun. Yeah.
They're very serious. And I get it because it's kind of like a thing about the facts and the figures in this race are important.
And it goes so long. So like basketball announcers that have good chemistry that we enjoy watching, like they only have to be charismatic for that short amount of time.
Yeah, that's true.
But for ultras, you obviously have to be charismatic for a long period of time, which is why they should have more people like shifts.
That's like that reminds me of the VJ thing.
The VJ?
Yeah, like, MTVs.
Yeah, like a VJ.
That's like a VJ. Like someone else would come on later.
Yeah, and come on. Yeah. At Western States, they did have some people come on overnight, but like it was just like the two primary ones. Yeah. Corinne and Dylan Bowman. Don't quote me on that. I don't know.
Things that like I wanted to hear more of are like, well, someone saying like call in and try to guess what athlete eats these three things before every race or something like things that maybe engage the audience. I don't know if it's possible in every race because I know they're remote. So if you can't engage them even like via the internet, I just think even somehow building like some B-roll packages of some sort to like have fun with the athletes that are running. And then I don't know. So you could run those packages throughout the video packages throughout.
Yeah.
And so it's not so much dead space. And then like they can highlight athletes in better ways, like with things they've done in the past. And
and getting like the personalities of
getting the person
because obviously like people know like the biggest athletes, but honestly there's a lot of people in top contention in Western States that I've like never heard of before. And I don't know anything about them. And some of them like don't have any social media presence at all. And so like even learning the athletes. Yeah, it would have been cool if they did more details like that. It didn't seem like a lot of that was given to them. I will say Hardrock did a much better job. Even though I have issues with who they chose as their top announcer, they did a much better job of like human interest and actually knowing all the athletes and commenting on the food that they were eating when they were coming in or what gear they were carrying or really have goals or whatever. I think that they did a much better job. And also Hardrock had themed aid stations, which was really fun to see.
Very fun, yes.
And Hardrock has never attracted me as a race because it just has the word hard in the title. And that seems like, okay, I'm good. I don't need it to be in the title too. But they did do a better job at announcing, though they did have a sexist, homophobic, and transphobic announcer on.
What would he need to do to change?
Not be the way that he is. Pretty sexist online, and so when Hardrock is working on their lottery because not as many women get into Hardrock, and they were trying to like make it even, and as many women applied for the lottery, got into the race. His first comment on Twitter was, well, how many trans women took a woman's spot? Yeah. And like, this is just public. Like, I didn't go diving for this. This is just public.
It's really not cool
Information. So like, that was discouraging to see him announcing such a major race, but obviously a lot of work to do. And then I watched a little bit of High Lonesome last week, which is a race I really don't even know a lot about. It was so pretty up there. Yeah, they did. It is really pretty.
You know, something that I think can be true of people who can have a knack for announcing, it doesn't mean you have to be a top athlete. So I kind of wish that they would look beyond what the scope of. I would ask them to do that and to bring in a more diverse pool of people who could announce. I think it's better for the sport.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they got a lot of flack. Like, let's talk about Western States, where they didn't even cover the Asian woman who was in like the top 3 finishers. Like, they didn't even like show her finish or anything, which is pretty crazy. And then people at Western States got a lot of flack because they were wearing these shirts like, here for the women's race, you know, which like, great, awesome, love it. But it seemed to be like, here for the white women's race. So that was pretty discouraging. So it's been cool to watch the live streams, but also like shows like glaring issues on like larger scale.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got UTMB next. And that one will be pretty like a really good live stream. Yeah, because they have obviously a lot more money behind it than other places.
I wanted to say one more thing. I was just thinking, like, you know, I've never wanted to run an ultra ever. I don't have the desire, honestly, to run one. But I do think if more people, it would be cool. I even like to watch the live feeds, even though I don't run them. I do think they could get more people engaged in the sport, even as a spectator in some ways. Spectatorship could improve. If they could not do what they're doing. Honestly, it just seems so simple. Just stop.
You know, it is such an interesting thing, having come off of watching these live streams, and all of these live streams are put on by Mountain Outpost, which is Jamil Curry's company, who does Air and Vapa. Jamil's done a lot of really, really amazing things for the sport. Jamil now owns Ultrarunning magazine. So essentially, Jamil owns all of Ultrarunning media in America, right? Like, the main things for Ultrarunning, he now owns it. And there's a lot of discussions about like, if a race director should be the one in charge of this. I don't really have an opinion. I think Jamil has done a lot of great things. I do think diversity, leading with diversity, has not been a strength of his. But he's a very cool guy, ultra runner. I mean, he ran Hardrock. So that's cool to have someone like so into the sport and not be, you know, Iron Man, whatever, that owns UTMB. Right. Which is just a bunch of corporate people. Yeah. Cool. All right. What was my next topic? I gotta unlock my phone now. Cool. Oh, okay. So I've talked about on the podcast like how I got into running, but I've not really dived into like how I got into ultra running. And I've been thinking about this recently because the person who introduced me to ultra running is kind of like a mystical person for me. So I was introduced, like, I got into running, and then I was introduced to ultra running by a runner. Her name is Leah, and she used to be in East Tennessee. She's in West North Carolina now. And she was friends with my my ex-wife's former coworker's partner at the time, right? Like, that's the far it goes out. But like, you know, we got in the same circles, got introduced, and she was the first introduction for me for ultra running, and is actually the one who invited me to go volunteer at Norris Dam Hard that first year, gave me my first pair of Hokas, and actually won races. Like, she won the Georgia Jewel 100, I don't know, in 2000-ish something, even before the teens maybe. And then she has no social media presence now. I don't think she really races in the same way. She helped start the Firewater 100-miler that we volunteered for when we lived in East Tennessee.
But we had the crock pot in the bathroom.
We had the crock pot in the bathroom.
Come on in, brothers. Come on. Get some lasagna crock pot in the bathroom. Okay.
And I just think it's so crazy that just like, if she had not been very roughly affiliated with my life, would I have found ultra running in the same way to have someone with so welcoming, kind of bring me into it, and then to have like no idea what she's doing now. Like I have no idea what she's doing now.
You had to have your ex-girlfriend.
What?
That's what I got from this. You had to have your ex-girlfriend
to
meet this person.
Right. It's just like a weird thing of life. It's just like this one person.
It's insane.
Kind of changed a trajectory in my life. And I would love to tell her that. Like, you know, if you know Leah, who used to run in East Tennessee, who won the Georgia Jewel, who now, I mean, last I heard she lived in Western North Carolina. I do not know. She pops up in my Strava from time to time and we'll just be like doing trails. So yeah. I would love to talk to Leah and just like tell her, because I mean, we have a running company, we do this, we do that. Running's very much part of our life. And I just think that's
who would have ever known?
Who would have known? And she like changed a trajectory for me in my life. And then, you know, you sit and like wonder like, whose trajectory am I changing here? Ooh, Puppet Master, but only a little bit.
Yeah.
Only a little bit Puppet Master.
Reminds me of something I'm going to tell you later.
Okay. Do we need to make a note of it?
No.
Okay. Next topic is yours, and you want to talk about the knots in your ankle.
Okay, well, when you say it like that, it sounds honestly sad.
So Elena's gotten back in a good running habit.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah.
We're back in the habit. You're running.
I've been going to the gym.
I've been going to the gym.
All that's great, but I've been getting my foot hurts right now because I did something dumb just now. But like I'm getting these knots in my ankle. It's funny too. So I've been doing the gun thing on it, and now it's bruised, and that's because I go too hard.
You go too hard.
But it feels like there's like a rock in there, and then I'm like, is that the bone? It's not the bone. It's definitely it's got that weird crunchy in it.
But my favorite thing is like when you're talking about this, you will constantly say, I don't remember my ankles having knots when I was running in my 20s.
Okay, well, I don't need you to bring this up to me though, because Allie wanted to make the subject running in your 40s, the title. And I told her she can go F herself. That's what I said. And I said F.
Not the full word.
Not the full word.
Yeah, you have like knots in your ankles, and it's a thing that you're dealing with in your running right now.
Well, and I just want to say this was embarrassing because I had a really good run last week, and I swear when you have a really good run, it just always comes with a
shit runs coming. Something's gonna humble you.
Always really bad.
Yeah.
So like my shoes were just they didn't even want to go on. They were just so uncomfortable. So then I'm wearing just like my sneakers that I have. So I was like, well, we had running group. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna run, but then like my sneakers you can't really run in them.
No,
they just are not anything like that. And the knots are really bad. So then I tried to run, and then I was like,
you couldn't run.
I couldn't run. So I'm going back today. I'm gonna run.
She's getting some redemption.
Yeah,
because in her mind, everyone noticed that you weren't running. And judged you for it. Like it was very obvious. Like, oh, is she even a runner? What is she doing?
Yeah, I'm only doing 1 lap today with y'all. So you're welcome.
You're welcome. We do talk about it a lot though. Like our bodies now, we run as opposed to.
Well, it's not even that. Like I can get through run. It's just it's more obvious little tweaks that I'm like, what? I didn't even know you could have like these kinds of knots in your ankles. Like it's just something I never experienced in my 20s or running even in my 30s. It's specifically something I feel running in my 40s.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't run in my 40s, so I don't know that as someone who is 38 years old.
She loves this.
I don't.
This is her favorite.
Running in my 40s yet.
She's like, oh, we're together on everything, but this is the
one thing. Yeah, like no, we are not in our 40s. You
just
were
wait.
in your 40s.
You guys join me when Allie turns 40. We're having the biggest party. Biggest for 40. We're gonna all wear black.
What?
That's the whole thing. When someone turns 40, you're supposed to bring all black.
It's 50.
Oh, is it?
50 seems like more of like an all black thing.
No, I think it's 40 because that's your midlife, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not living to 100.
Okay, you don't know what kind of technology they're going to come out with.
I hope it's not technology.
Yeah, it's technology.
When you say that, all I can think of is Terminators.
Okay, no, we're not going to be Terminators. We're not going to be Terminators. No, that's not the technology. Yeah. Did you have any other running stuff you wanted to discuss?
No, I think one last thing is that Allie and I have had some good runs together.
We have, yeah, we've been able to run together. Yeah, because I'm finally at a place where I can kind of keep up with you postpartum. That's been fun. And then we take turns driving the bus, as I call it.
Which is a whole different kind of running.
A whole different kind of running.
You're not running the same form at all because your arms are occupied. So it's a lot of, it's just different.
Yeah.
It's still enjoyable.
Yeah, we had a good run yesterday with the bus and everything. I think it's fun. I mean, Juniper has really been enjoying, they like going on the runs in the stroller. They like go and climb in. But where I've been going on Wednesdays now to run up the hill, as Juniper calls it, Juniper is really loving running up the hill, which is fun. And other times we let them get out of the stroller and they like to run with us.
Right.
And that's cute.
Yeah, that is really cute.
That's really cute.
They like to run.
Yeah.
I like to run a lot as a kid.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, I know.
I've heard that. Oh, I want to give a quick shout out to my nephew Jack, who did his first mile run this past week. I got a video of it. Very cute. Love that for him and his running. He's definitely, one of the younger cussing runners. He wears cuss running stuff to school.
Yeah.
Like on wacky outfit day, he wears cuss running stuff, and I love that so much.
It's really cute. I love it too. Well, don't forget to tell us about what whimsical animal, or you don't have to be an animal. I'm sorry, I put that in there. It's biased.
What is the whimsy you're bringing to your funeral? I think that's
even better.
What's the whimsy you're bringing to your funeral? We would like to hear that.
I would love to hear that.
Stay enough, and just remember that Elaine's Mima only had one leg. Yeah. Bye, y'all.